here is my best guess as to what's happening in the denomination right now, and what's interesting about what the next couple of years. So if you think of the denomination as a loaf of bread, and it's got slices, right? And over on the one end, there's the slices that are very conservative and concerned about becoming too much like the world, and are saying we got to draw the line, we got to hold the line, okay? Over here were the churches that were saying, no, we can be openly affirming, this is the loving thing to do, and so on. And what happened, and what so often happens in situations like this, is where does the middle go? Where does the middle go? And on the last 3 years, I think what the middle has said is, we're going to agree with the churches that are saying we got to hold the line, and we're going to slice off, so to speak, and let them find their own way, but lovingly, but slice off those who are openly affirming. Okay? So, in a sense, what I think we need to do is, I think that now there's another decision, and the middle is going to redecide. This last year, and so now we have a new end here, right? And the question is, how far off of this end do we need to cut off? Do we need to cut off every church that has members who disagree on this? Do we need to cut off every church that has council members who disagree on this issue? How much further are we going to cut off? And it was interesting to me because there were several times this year where the group that was here, where the middle started to say to this group, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to say this far. We're not ready to cut off these folks. And so I think that's kind of where we are, is deciding, in a sense, can Hillside be what we've been, of saying, all right, yes, we hold to the denominational position, but we're not going to make it a litmus test of leadership necessarily in this, so are we still part of the loaf? Or is the middle going to say, no, you're not part of the loaf either? Now, does that make sense? And so what I think is interesting is to see, okay, now, again, we've had one issue, and clearly, and again, I think it wasn't just the middle, it was a lot of us who would say, yeah, and this, we have to make this decision. We have to make a decision about whether we are, as a denomination, going to have affirming churches or not. Now, in a sense, it's a new day. And these other decisions are still being made. Some people think I'm too optimistic and hopeful of saying, I think that we might see some, that's why I was so excited when they came out and said, no, you can have questions or wonderings. And again, I think I've made it clear, I'll say it again if I haven't, I take the traditional position. So I'm not trying to say, oh, really, I want us to get Hillside over here. No, I still take that, but we've always been thoughtful and loving and caring, trying to figure out how that looks. So anyway, so that's why I think right now we're in a place where it'll just be interesting to see. In the next 2 years at Synod, does the middle say, I mean, even on so the questions where that came out, for example, there was a question of, do we declare this a salvation issue? And those who were on this end wanted to say, yes, we do. If you're wrong on this one, your salvation is in question. And the middle said, no, we're not going to use that language. We're not going to use that language. And so that was one that, and so it was, for me, I felt like that was what was going on at Synod, is you're starting to see a little more saying, no, we're with you on this one, but not with you on that one. And I don't know where we'll all end up.